Hi, I'm Stan, a Google certified project manager directly supporting program managers at Fortune 200 companies, where I've worked on several different projects. This is a video for my completely free project manager bootcamp. I'll show you exactly how projects are run, save you both time and money, while guiding you through a marketable project manager project for you to share in your interview. Let's land your dream project manager role together. I'm Stan the PM. Let's get started. Here is the final video of the series, the CAPSTONE project. For this, we will be doing an internal analytics dashboard rollout. The goal of this project is to improve leadership visibility into weekly performance metrics. And the team is going to be the PM, yourself, data analyst, engineer, and stakeholder lead. Typically, a project begins as there is currently some kind of problem. In this case, leadership didn't have clear visibility into weekly performance metrics across teams. So our goal is to create a single internal analytics dashboard that leadership can rely on a weekly basis. To ensure alignment from day one, we document this in a project charter. Here we note key information. For example, the problem, no centralized reporting for leadership. Additionally, metrics are inconsistent across teams. Our goal, deliver weekly dashboard and trusted metrics. Success metrics, leadership adoption, weekly usage, and on-time delivery. Additional info, feel free to get creative here, such as deadline dates, potential risk, etc. 2. Stakeholders and roles. Now that we're clear on the problem and the goal, the next focus is clarification on ownership. As a reminder, RACI stands for responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Here is an example for our project. Awesome. Now let's move on to planning, scope, and structure. Once roles are clear, now we define what work actually needs to be done. We do this with the work breakdown structure, WBS, which breaks down the project into smaller pieces so nothing is missed. Awesome. Let's move on to timeline and risk management. Now that work is defined, let's focus on timing via the Gantt chart. Here's our example. We have columns task, start week, the end week, and the dependency. And we're also going to be proactively tracking our risk with our risk log. For example, you may have a data source delay as a potential risk. The impact of this would be high, and the likelihood of this is medium. A mitigation could be early validation checkpoints. Great. On to part 5, execution. Planning is important, but execution is a key part of a project's success. Here is an example of a Jira-style task board. We have the backlog, what's in progress, what's blocked, and what's done. We will also demonstrate how you handle meetings, such as the daily stand-up, where we address what's completed, what's next, and what's blocked. Feel free to get creative here. This is also where you will provide weekly status updates. Awesome, now for part 6, tracking and metrics. After explaining to your data analyst the key metrics that we need, they will likely come back with something like this for the data source of the dashboard, showing the task, owner, status, start date, end date, what's blocked, and percent complete. This is what will ultimately support the dashboard. Remember, the data analyst will connect the data source and essentially execute the dashboard. So to keep it simple, we used Canva for this example, which replicates what the data analyst may return. This shows at a quick glance the status, which is green, tasks remaining, any blocked tasks by owner, and percent complete over 2 weeks. Awesome. Up next is change management. Here is an example of our change log, showing columns change ID, date, request, impact, decision, and the owner. Lastly is the project closure and lessons learned. Here is an example of the project closure report, showing final status, timeline, scope delivered, stakeholder sign-off. Some key points such as dashboard delivered and live, automated refresh, and achieved leadership adoption. Then your lessons learned log, showing columns category, what worked, what didn't, and improvements. Congrats! You just completed an end-to-end project management project. Thank you so much for sticking around.